Do bad teams win against good teams? Yeah, happens all the time in one game. Do bad teams beat a good team twice in a row? Yeah, probably not very often, but sometimes you just have a team's number. Do bad teams win 5 games in a row? Maybe, if they're playing their best hockey of the season during that stretch. Do bad teams go 12-2-1 in a 15-game stretch? That's a pretty tough sell, but maybe in some bizarro world where they are good for 1 month, they go to something like that. Avs did all of those things. The Avs are not a bad team. Avs win over the New York Rangers 4-2.
Alex Newhook!
Oh boy.
Whoa!
This was a good quality hockey game. The Avs didn't play their best like they did against Florida, but they still played well, and the Rangers played well. It was good back and forth, and the Avs came out on top. The Rangers came out hard early, the Avs weathered the storm, and then started to turn the tides a little bit, and it is really starting to feel like the Avs' top players, at least the healthy ones, are finding their groove. Yes, you'd still like to see more goal scoring out of MacKinnon, but everyone is starting to click, and the production is there. Nathan MacKinnon might not score, but he's getting plenty of assists. The Rangers have committed all 3 forwards extremely deep into the offensive zone, so when this puck bounces out and they get it to MacKinnon quickly, it's a 3-on-2 with Mikko being the deep man, MacKinnon and Burakovsky leading the rush in. MacKinnon gives it to Berkey in the neutral zone, or getting across the blue line, really. It's just a quick little give and go. Berkey hits it down the wall, so MacKinnon can collect as he gets past the defenseman, and he just goes in around the net. Generally a play I don't love. I'd more like getting the puck to the net front area, but MacKinnon just executes this perfectly. As he comes in around behind the net, he not only drags Lafreniere on his backside, he drags the defender in front of the net towards his side of the net too, leaving just enough room for Mikko to stand net front, get this ridiculous backhand pass, and bang it home. MacKinnon is very good. I don't know how you touch that top line right now. Since Berkey has moved up there, they have started lighting it up. And this time it comes from Mikko and MacKinnon more than Berkey firing pucks into the back of the net. They just look really, really good. Yes, they still have times where you see some bad body language, or maybe they're coasting a little bit too much, but when they turn it up, they just get points. It's that simple. So the 1-goal lead in the first is nice, but 1 goal never feels very comfortable. We talk about this a lot in the first period. A 1-0 lead can get erased real quick. It's the 2-goal lead where you really start to feel like you're settling into the game. The Avs draw a penalty late in the first, and what else do you say but Cale Makar? On the power play, the Avs check the box for the zone entry before feeding it off and getting it back to the point. They're now completely set up. Looking good. This is how you want to start power plays. With setups like this, honestly, this doesn't feel particularly dangerous to start. The Avs don't really generate a ton. MacKinnon, simply by holding the puck, can drag 2 players to him, which opens up some room for Makar. And Makar just has a ridiculous, accurate wrist shot that finds its way through at least 3 bodies. You have a 4th and maybe even a 5th coming into this lane, and somehow Makar gets it all the way through clean. Hilariously, because of the games that he's missed, Devontae is actually scoring at a higher points per game pace than Cale Makar this year, but for defensemen with at least 20 games played, Cale Makar is at the top of the list. For reference, Makar's current 1.13 points per game pace puts him in with names like Paul Coffey, Ray Bourque, Al MacInnis, all sorts of all-time level defensemen. Pretty much every stat in Makar's arsenal this year is showing that this dude is a Hall of Famer, or at least on a Hall of Fame track in his still very young career. And the thing that makes Makar special is if he can stay healthy, this pace seems pretty darn sustainable for him. Maybe he doesn't score quite as much to hit that ridiculous 40-goal mark, but the points production is there. Either way, a massive goal for the Avs to go into the second period up 2. The second period once again saw the Rangers come out stronger than the Avs. Probably the Rangers were just the better team for the most part in the second period, but the Avs battled against it both on the ice and with their fists. Curtis McDermott fighting Ryan Reeves in this period. Look, I get this is what McDermott is here to do, not faulting McDermott the player. He did his job. That's all well and good, but from a larger picture standpoint, there was no point to this fight. The Avs were up 2-0. Getting Ryan Reeves off the ice doesn't really accomplish anything for the Avs. So, yes, it happened. Yes, McDermott did his job. I just don't understand what the point of it was in the first place. And as it should be, the team that is playing better is the team that gets the bounces. The Rangers make a good play, but it takes a good amount of luck for them to score their first goal. Rags dump a puck in, and Kemper tries to play this puck, and he kind of just mishandles it. Maybe he was just trying to throw it to the corner, but it didn't give any opportunity for an Avs player to go get it. I really don't like Kemper playing the puck. He plays it a lot, and it rarely seems to work out well. He's a really good goaltender, but playing the puck, maybe ease up on it. New York works it back to the point, and from there, this is just a great play by Fox. He recognizes Strome coming in off of the corner here. The Avs have kind of forgotten about him. Get a little bit caught up in the middle of the ice, two men in the same area, and he makes a great pass down to Strome. Strome actually botches this. You can see the pass coming through. If you watch closely, it's going to go off of his stick blade, shoot directly up into his lower hand, kick off his hand, and in to the net. So it's a great play by Fox, and then they got lucky. You kind of just shake your head at that one. The second ended up being a pretty low event period, but after that goal, the Avs pushed back. At one point, shots were 7-2 in the second, but they ended the period 7-7. So while the Rangers played well, it's not like the Avs just went away and let them dominate. Once again, the Avs come up with a huge goal late in the period to get back to that 2-goal lead. These late period goals are a nice change. For years, I've complained about the Avs being the team giving up these types of goals. All of a sudden, they're scoring them. Compher gains the blue line for the Avs here. This isn't a particularly dangerous situation, but a nice little passing play to get the puck to the center and then quickly back to Barron on the wall. Keeps the Rangers honest in the middle of the ice. Barron works in deep, is able to pull up, protect the puck well along the boards, and get it back out to the point. A nice little play by the rookie, and a confident one. Should have probably gotten an assist on this play if he got a little bit luckier. Kadri from out high is going to throw a puck in towards the net, and it's going to hit off of JT Compher. Had this hit off a defenseman and drop down, or not JT Compher, Barron gets a point. It goes off of Compher, drops right down to Nuke's stick. All Nuke has to do is sweep this one into the net. Georgiev, pretty hard to ask a goalie to track that one through three bodies right in front of him. All right, Nuke, just keep scoring, man. I don't know. 3-1 in the third period. 2-goal lead, you should win the game. Say it just about every video that this happens. The Avs play a fantastic 15 or so minutes in this third period. They're playing quality hockey. They're not overly turtling. They are controlling the play in a period where the other team is down 2. It's just great hockey to watch until they score a goal that's not a goal. JT Compher brushes into Georgiev net front. My issue with this call is that this happens before the puck is shot in, and Georgiev still makes the initial save. Then Compher puts in the rebound. So the contact that was made did not prevent Georgiev from making the save. Eventually, this was called back, challenged for goalie interference, and overturned as a goal. That also means that post does not count either. Look, it's goalie interference. I'm not going to try to explain it to you. This rule has been a mess for years now, and it's just what it is. Unfortunately, that gave the Rangers a ton of momentum in the last stretch of this game. Unfortunately, that did give the Rangers a bunch of momentum late in this game. With the goalie pulled, the Avs probably should have sealed this game. Kadri walks in on an empty net, goes to his backhand, and is just far too casual trying to flip a puck into the net. It gets picked out of midair by Lafreniere. Instead of this being a 4-1 game that is over for the second time, it is now still 3-1. The Rangers come down after that and score to make it a 1-goal game. As with any goal, there's multiple problems. The Avs lose this face-off, and that means that the Rangers get a quality opportunity. This one essentially goes right into Kemper's midsection. It's one he really has to gobble up, but as you can see, it gets away from him and slides over. With the face-off on this side, Kemper actually had time to adjust, but he panics a little bit and kind of just falls over and tries to dive to that side of the net, leading the entire top half of the net wide open for Julien Gauthier to just backhand it into. Look, that's a goal that a starting goaltender in the NHL just has to have. Not trying to make excuses for Darcy Kuemper on that one, but outside of that 5 seconds, Darcy Kuemper played great. Even with the bad goal, he holds the New York Rangers to 2 goals. That means the Avs should probably win the game. The NHL is often a race to 3 goals. And after the goal, he made fantastic saves to make sure that this game didn't fall apart on Colorado. So, well, that goal has to be better. You have to give Kuemper some credit tonight. And then, to ice things, with the goalie in the net, mind you, Val Nichushkin decides that his hands, he's been using the aloe. They're softening up. We are less than a third of the way into this season, and Val Nichushkin now has 9 goals. His career high in his rookie year is 14. He's on pace to smash that. Now, that pace will likely come down a little bit, but it would be very, very likely that Val beats his career high unless his goal scoring goes beyond stone hands into actually frozen in time hands. Right now, he's just putting them in, and I don't know how long it'll last. Maybe it'll last the whole year, and Val Nichushkin is a 30-goal scorer now. I doubt it, but he could genuinely push for 20. Either way, the Avs offense, the forwards in particular, I think have really come together well as they've more or less gotten healthy. Yes, Landy's still out, but they're only missing one guy on the forward side instead of 2, 3, 4, or 5. They really look like a powerhouse forward team, even with some of the guys they lost over the offseason. Newhook has stepped in nicely. Kubel has generated offense effectively, and obviously you're getting performances out of guys like Nuke and Kadri that are above and beyond what you expected from them. Whatever the injuries have thrown at the Avs so far, they seem to just keep on rolling. This is what a good team looks like. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Head on over to thednvr.com for all of our coverage. If you want more on Justin Barron's game, this is his first NHL game. I thought he looked great. Didn't really do anything on the stat sheet too impressive, but he's got a couple more weeks with Taves and COVID protocol. Go check out Megan Angley's piece with him where she interviewed him and he talked about his game. I am Rudo, and the Avs are good, fam. They're just good.
Avalanche time, come on, grab your friends. We're going to the playoffs again.